Instead, we have the opportunity to make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves in each other. There's a certain poverty of ambition involved in simply striving just for money. Materialism alone will not fulfill the possibilities of your existence. You have to fill that with something else. You have to fill it with the golden rule. You've got to fill it with thinking about others. And if we know our history, then we will understand that that is the highest mark of service. There's an empathy gap. There's a gap in terms of sympathizing for those folks in New Orleans as bad as sympathizing with folks elsewhere. It's not a gap that the American people felt because we saw how they responded. But somehow our government didn't respond with that same sense of compassion and that same sense of kindness. And here's the worst part. The tragedy in New Orleans happened well before the hurricane struck. Because in many of those communities, there were so many young men in prison, so many kids dropping out, so little hope, a hope gap. A hope gap that still pervades too many communities all across the country and right here in Alabama. So the question is then, what are we, the Joshua generation, doing to close those gaps? Are we doing every single thing that we can do in Congress in order to make sure that early education is adequately funded and making sure that we are raising the minimum wage so if somebody works each and every day that they can have some dignity and some respect? Are we ensuring that if somebody loses a job that they're getting retrained and that if they've lost their health care and their pension that somebody's there to help them get back on their feet? Are we making sure that we're giving a second chance to those who have strayed and gone to prison but want to start a new life? Government alone can't solve all those problems, but government can help. And it's the responsibility of the Joshua generation to make sure that we have a government that is as responsive as the need that exists all across America. See the world through other people's eyes. Now, empathy is a quality of character that can change the world.